Hello. Welcome to the Black Mind Podcast, episode 134.
Jesus.
What?
Oh, God.
Joining me as always is... Well, Allan just screwed it up. Joining me as always is Josh. Also joining me this week is Rory.
Yeah, I'm always here.
I'm here to ruin the podcast again. And by ruin, I mean make better.
Mm-hmm. And also joining us will be Allan soon enough.
We got all the boys.
Mm-hmm. All the boys in the yard. Mm-hmm. That's right. Better than yours.
God damn it. I was fighting so hard to not acknowledge it.
It's like, how can it's like if you say any
like
musical
I was like, don't say milkshakes, don't say milkshakes, don't say milkshakes.
Bring all the milkshakes back to the yard, and they're like, damn, boy, they're better than yours.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
What a great start.
Oh, let's start talking about milkshakes and all the boys in the yard.
It's my favorite thing to talk about.
It's the most favorite thing to talk about.
Your most favorite thing to talk about is milkshakes.
I mean, milkshakes are fantastic. Why would you hate milkshakes?
What's wrong with milkshakes, Jeff?
You're lactose intolerant.
Jeff, milkshake hater, whatever your last name is.
Rock.
Yep. That I knew that. Shut up.
Yeah, that's my name.
Let's move on to a topic.
No, let's not.
No. Well, what?
No.
Oh, okay. Let's just not do the podcast.
Let's not do the podcast this week.
Well, I'll see you next week in the next podcast in 135. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Woo! Good job, boys. Pat on the back. Job well done.
Josh tried to mine Bitcoin and I fucked his computer up.
Josh?
It sure did.
Yep. Man, Bitcoin turned out to be worth a lot of money.
It used to be.
Oh. Yeah, it kind of went down, but I mean, it's did it stop or did it keep going down?
I don't know. I'm going to check real quick.
I mean,
it's fluctuating.
I think it's fluctuating aggressively. I can actually afford...
it's still worth a lot more than that guy who bought the first ever pizza with Bitcoin.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I also point out the fact that I could actually
$4 million pizzas.
No, it's $13,631.52 Canadian dollar. I can actually buy a Bitcoin. I'm so proud of myself. I'm not doing it though.
You can buy one whole Bitcoin.
That is a waste.
Wait,
that is a wasted investment, and I know that.
It's going to be great.
It seems like every time I think about Bitcoin, I think about like a physical coin in my hand, but I think about the Haypenny from that one movie that the
Animaniacs.
Yep. Animaniacs, yeah, the Christmas special. The freaking I got a Haypenny. It can pay for so many things, and I'm thinking it's a Bitcoin. I can pay for so many things.
Right? Just replace Haypenny with Bitcoin, and you got that entire movie. Man, I wish I hadn't been like, man, Bitcoin sure is fucking stupid. And ignored it while it was worth nothing, because now it's worth thousands of dollars, and I could really use those right now.
Oh yeah, exactly. Hell, if I knew they existed, I'd be like, "Oh, that seems like a cool thing. I'm gonna throw some cash on it, I guess, whatever." And then you just be like, "Oh, I have a bunch of fucking money. Okay."
Like if I'd spent $20 on Bitcoins at that point, I'd have thousands of dollars now.
Oh fuck! You could have bought them at $20 a piece. Dang!
Like,
what?
Man, fucking! I know what I'm gonna do with a time machine.
Yeah,
you know what
I
I'm
will
going to
not-
do with a time
I will
machine?
not lie. I would go back by 10 Bitcoin when it initially launched, and just put it somewhere off to the side and make sure I never lost it.
Well, actually,
No, you.
well,
the thing
no, I
is,
was
you
going to
have
say I destroy a time machine because that just causes way too many problems. There's two things you always have to destroy when you come across them: time machines and things that create matter.
That's
Because that's just problems.
Well, okay, no, it depends. Is it storing antimatter in the side? Because if it's storing antimatter on the side, yes, you have to destroy it. If it's just creating matter, you kind of like look at me and go, this solves all the world's problems.
No, it makes way more problems than it solves.
No, it doesn't. Fuck off.
No.
Oh no, we have a black hole for no reason. Shit.
No.
No. The thing that you need to absolutely destroy when you fucking come across
concert
it.
laws. Anything that breaks the laws of physics is bad and has to go.
No, dude, it's just some hacker who's hacked our fucking universe, and he's just found out the server, and he's just put in some really cool shit that we can fiddle around with. I mean, it's no problems.
Dude, just
I will
start
say
mouse
this though.
dropping
I will
people
say
into
this though, that
existence.
if there's anything that actually, if there's anything that actually creates matter but doesn't have the ability to destroy it at the same time, that's when you destroy it. That's like you need to realize that like if it doesn't have the ability to destroy it at the same time, you need to get rid of it. I love
this podcast. I want to point out 30 seconds
I
ago
will
we were
say
talking about.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Rory. I really do. I'm just being like an asshole and being like, no, you should keep it around, you fucker.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to get in there that I love this podcast. Like, not 15 minutes ago, we were talking about Josh's like love of hentai, and now we're talking about theoretical quantum physics and the creation of matter.
I mean, here's my thing: is if you're creating something out of matter and stuff like that, you would have to use energy in order to create matter.
Yep.
So theoretically, if you were creating matter, it wouldn't destroy the laws of physics.
But then, okay, now you're fucking with the law of conservation of mass and the law of conservation
No, you're
of
not.
energy.
No, you're not. You are converting energy into mass. They are actually one and the same.
God damn it.
That is the reason why E equals MC squared, you dumb fuck.
Josh, talk about your hentai more.
Okay,
I think I like that better.
Okay, no,
I
stop.
found this one hentai. It was super weird.
It was the last Jedi hentai. It was very good. It was better than
that
one.
We've already Josh. I mean, fuck, not Josh. Jeff. Just upload the spoiler cast. Then we'll have plenty of shit to say on Star Wars.
It will be
we can't
uploaded
go
a day
through a
before
third
this one.
podcast talking about the goddamn Last Jedi.
Although I'm not editing it.
I mean,
It hurts too deeply for me.
I mean, I could tell you the short story of like how I was trying to mine, not exactly Bitcoin, but I was trying to mine garlic coin.
Yeah, let's actually get on to the topic that we started and then we got wildly sidetracked from.
Yeah, so basically, I was trying to mine garlic coin because it just came out recently, and I was like, "Hey, I'm subscribed to this dumb bullshitty subreddit and on Reddit." I'm like, "Oh, maybe I should try to get one or two of these coins and like figure out how this works." And I was slowly going through the steps of figuring this out. And then I was installing a bunch of bullshit in order to get this coins onto my computer. And then as I was going through with the mining stuff, it just didn't fucking work on my computer. I was like, great. So it then turns out like a couple of days later, my computer is just slow as fuck. So, I mean, everything is slow as fuck. Everything just hangs and just stays there and not do anything. And I was like, fuck. So it's either fresh install my entire computer or I just roll it back. So I just decided to roll it back, and it seems like it fixed everything.
Or you should uninstall the program.
Oh, I did that. I completely uninstalled all that shit, and I deleted everything. And I think I fixed it. I think. Like, nothing seems to hang. Nothing seems to... Like, I don't see any problems that I had before.
By the way, you're a piece of shit.
Because I'm like, I don't think Bitcoin's gonna go away. I think it's gonna be around, and I would just want to see how you fucking do this shit, because I've always been curious.
Like you're gonna try and
So basically,
mine
this is my
Bitcoin.
Yeah, he was trying to mine Bitcoin.
It's because I want to see, like, hey, what do you have to do in order to do
I mean,
this?
I could technically mine another like digital currency called Ethereum, and like there's like 6 or 7 different.
Oh, there's like
Digital
hundreds.
coins now.
There's hundreds.
Oh, there's loads, but Bitcoin was the first. It's the one people recognize. Ergo, it's the only one that's really worth anything.
Yeah. I mean, there is like other ones that are also worth a bunch of like monies and shit like that, but there's also a bunch of other, what I've learned is other blockchains that are different in some way and some shit, and it's just like there's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. I just, at first now it's gonna be complicated, but later on to the future it's gonna be Batman Beyond. Hey, do you have 10 credits? Like, it's gonna be that.
Yeah, I can't wait till it's just fucking credits.
It's gonna be that. Like, it's gonna be that. Like, cause all this fucking national money thing is kind of dumb, anyways.
Galactic credits will do fine.
Of course they will. It just solves a lot of problems.
Your mind tricks don't work here. Only money.
Fucking Watto.
Oh yeah, hey, do we want to talk about costumes and how I only play Overwatch for costumes now?
Oh, you've seen the new ones, right?
Sure. I've not seen all the new ones.
Rory, I for sure guarantee you're going to like the new Widowmaker one, because it's a StarCraft one, and it's fucking great.
Oh, the one that was just Nova?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of
Nova High.
yeah,
That's
so,
fine.
I'm actually going to update Overwatch in the background while we're doing this, so I can actually fucking play with you guys right after which.
yeah, because I would have to say some of the what was it? The costumes make a reference exactly to another video game are fucking spot on.
Well, yeah, it's like Blizzard's like, we own all these IPs. Here you go.
Yeah, here you go.
I'm waiting for
It's just-
Captain Price Overwatch skin.
Oh jeez! Oh yes, do it.
That would be the only thing that would actually make me like Soldier.
Captain Price.
Captain Price.
From?
Call of Duty. Hang
Call of Duty.
Hang on. I'm gonna get you the most.
I mean, I guess they're owned by Activision, but God no.
Hang on. I'm gonna get you the face.
I prefer the skins to be of actual characters.
He is an actual character, though. Here, Rory.
Not
Here,
really.
Rory.
Blizzard.
This
From
is
Blizzard.
the reason why. This is the reason why he should be.
I mean, if we're going for Call of Duty skins, you could put Kevin Spacey in there.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey would be Reaper, and we all know that.
Kevin Spacey, the child molester. I mean, as long as you don't go to his basement, it's okay.
The
no, I
newest
heard that.
Overwatch hero, Kevin Spacey.
He's a real bad guy. He's a real bad guy. He just diddles kids.
Watch out for that Kevin Spacey. He's a real bad egg.
It's the thing that Talon's trying to prevent is Kevin Spacey coming back from the dead.
No, Talon's leader is secretly Kevin Spacey.
No, like both the Overwatch and Talon are like, we need to stop Kevin Spacey.
It's
No,
like
no,
Talon,
Kevin Spacey's-
like, knows that like Kevin Spacey's coming back, so they're like shit, we need to start another war so humanity's ready. And then like Overwatch is just sitting there, be like, we have to stop Talon. And then Kevin Spacey rises from the grave, and everyone's like, "Say, John, you're
Okay,
a fucking
question. Wait,
idiot."
hold on. Is Kevin Spacey just like a necromancer in this timeline?
Why wouldn't he be, though?
Kevin Spacey's secretly a necromancer.
No, he's like
See,
he's
you
like
guys-
a
you guys
head
are
in
missing
a
out.
jar that eats children.
Oh, like Walt Disney. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Walt Disney
Kevin
was the
Spacey
first
is the
one. Kevin
reincarnation
Spacey was
of
his
Walt Disney.
replacement.
There was a soul transfer. Like Walt Disney just ported his soul over to Kevin Spacey's body and rose to power. No, see, you're thinking you guys are thinking along the long lines. Clearly, what we need to do is have Kevin Spacey be a Doomfist skin, except and it just changes all his animations. So instead of punching, he diddles everyone. Boom, done, solved it.
Fuck.
No, that's Harvey Weinstein.
So I was gonna say, if there's gonna be any Blizzard skin in Overwatch that I want the guy from Blackthorn to be on Reaper. I want that to happen.
Fucking
It's never gonna happen.
Blackthorn. Do you? No, you
That would be so
motherfucker.
fucking cool. That'd be so great.
You are one of the 2 people I know who pushes Blackthorn.
I mean,
Blackthorn for SummerSlam, motherfucker. Come on, we can do this.
What?
Exactly.
I am lost to no extreme.
It's fine. Google it, you jerk.
Just Google it.
Blackthorn. Okay, right? Blackthorn.
It's
Is it
just,
just- is
it's, I think the first.
Ship. I'll go with that. Oh, look, I got the
'Cause it's a-
USCG C Blackthorn WLB-391. So, yeah, I have no idea what you're going for here.
Okay,
Hold
so
on, it's a
we're
Blizzard-
going. Okay, it's a Blizzard game, and the Thorn is spelled. The Thorn is spelled with an E at the end.
Yeah.
It's an old Blizzard game, like similar to the Lost Vikings ish.
Yeah, it's actually more similar to. Was it Prince of Persia? Because they're like trying to figure out like complicated platforms type of thing. And here, I'll give you an image of what the box art looks like.
I found it. You mean Blackhawk? Because that's the one I.
No, it's this.
I think Blackhawk was one of the
It's
localized
fucking
versions,
this.
but Blackthorn
And
is
that's
like
the main
canon
character
one.
off to the right.
jeez.
Yeah, no, I
I
would
just-
fucking play the hell out of like whatever character got that skin.
I feel like maybe that's better. It might be a Reaper skin, might be a McCree skin. Though.
I can see.
Probably
I can
even
see.
McCree
Yeah, that might be
I
more
can see
McCree.
McCree with great
Just
ease.
going by the cover art.
Yep.
Yeah. But the thing is, later on in the game, the character gets like a whole fuck ton of weapons, and is like he gets some really cool shotguns, and like that would be neat.
Just
I wish
just
like,
everyone gets a Blackthorn skin. It's just the same skin, like wrapped around different models.
Reinhardt gets fucking the fucking orcs.
Yep.
yeah, and what was it? Tribjorn.
Tribjorn?
Tribjorn.
Tribjorn.
Every time I say his name, I always fuck it up. But anyway, he gets the vest and the jeans and shit. But when he puts out a turret, maybe like he puts out the dudes on the who are hung up on the walls.
It's just a smaller Blackthorn.
Yeah. It's a pixel. It's a little pixelated dude with a shotgun.
It just shoots people. Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Great.
I love this lore.
Pushing it for SummerSlam.
I don't want SummerSlam
do
like
this.
that.
I can't believe we fucking talked about Blackthorn on this
I mean,
podcast.
it is Josh's favorite game.
Yeah.
Totally is.
I can believe that with
Oh,
great
right.
Because
ease.
the atmosphere's fucking creepy
So yeah,
too.
tell us about Blizzard Land, because I haven't played it since the most recent update.
It's pretty neat, although the 2 gripes I had about it, I thought it was a little long. Like it's actually like so long to the point of like I was like, man, it feels like I've been walking forever here. Like I kind of wish I was a faster character just so I could just zoom up here, and it just takes for fucking ever. I mean, I think most of capture the point and then move the payload map. So they're meant to be a little long, but this feels longer. I'm not sure if it's
actually from what I've seen of Blizzardland, I have no problem with it so far because it seems like it's supposed to be a bit of a longer capture and push map because I feel like fuck.
You feel like fuck.
Yes. I'm trying to remember the map's name. Not Eichenwald. Eichenwald is just in that nice sweet spot where it's just long enough, but it has the problem of 3 or 4 different choke points that are just hell to get through for like just nonstop. Like there's no alternative routes to get through. And from what I've seen is Blizzardland has like 1 or 2 chokes that I've seen so far, but yeah.
I would say,
Well, those chokes are kind of necessary to be able to build a defense around them.
yeah, like that's the thing is like Eichenwald is like one, like the whole entire second area is just one consistent choke. Like you have enough of a choke point there that you can easily defend the whole entire building and stuff
I'd
like
say
that.
the only real bad choke point on Eichenwald is before the first capture point with the bridge.
Yeah.
Because you can like set up there and it's really tough for people to get through. Like most heroes can't get.
That's the reason why
over or around
there
that.
is that first gate. There is the gate where the payload has to go through, which is another choke point.
I've never seen anything get stalled
I
there.
have seen
ever.
so many games get stalled there. Actually,
It's too close. It's too close to the attacker's spawn.
that's the thing is if the defenders are about to lose that, like if they realize, well, we're about to lose that point, and they set up at that second choke point, fuck, they're like it doesn't matter how close you are to the attacker's spawn at that point. If you can pin them down and keep them stuck there, they're not moving.
Well, yeah, but like, if that's ever happened to you, it's because like the defenders are just like way stronger players than the attackers. Because
I know. Like that is also a possibility. The other point, the other choke point is just after you break down the door. That choke point becomes that entire last stretch there is just a fucking choke point, and it's just fucking brutal to get through. It's too tight.
I don't think it's all that bad.
It's too tight.
Yeah, but it's tight for everybody.
Yeah.
There's no like a choke point is not just made by the fact that like someone has to go through a certain way. It's also made by the fact that the defenders have like a good spot to set up, and there isn't really like an amazing spot to set up just inside the door.
Oh yeah, there is.
Because like you've got at the door itself, you've got 3 ways for the attackers to go in.
Mm-hmm. No, they're the moment you're through those 3 doors, it's a single path. And that's just
well, no. There are like side paths beyond that. Like if you go in through the right, you can like sort of loop around back to the Dark Souls reference area, and there's like side paths around that. Plus, it's still a pretty high one, so like people with good vertical mobility have a lot of. I
am fucking Christ. Rory's
okay, look, I don't want to fight you. I'm just saying you're wrong.
Man, if that's the only way to get through, that's a fucking choke point, though. There's only one way to go around.
I would say the last little bit. If you're on point and you have Bastion on the flipping payload, you're good. Because I've had games go both ways in that area.
Really that comes down to player skill.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I would say Blizzardland is. It has the same problem that most maps have, where once you get past the first point, it becomes a very big grind, kind of like Alkenwall, but there's a really good path behind the enemy and stuff like that you can use. The only real issue I have is that, like, if you have a Symmetra and she's on point, then you might as well give up, it feels.
God, no. Symmetra's the easiest person in the world to counter.
Okay, how do you counter her?
Winston.
Okay.
Like, the turrets die in one hit to anything, so just spray an electricity in, like, a general area, and her entire setup is just gone. I play Symmetra all the time. I know what fucks her up.
I'm actually going to agree with Rory. Like, if Rory says, no, there's a counter to Symmetra, I'd believe him on that one.
I would, too. But like,
Rory suffers a lot. When he plays Symmetra, I have seen him.
Not really. Like my Symmetra is like if you do your job as Symmetra right, like you're not going to get any glory, but like you definitely know what you did. You give yourself a pat on the back out there, Symmetra mains. You know what you did.
You're one of those supports that are like you did the most important work of all, and no one's gonna know.
No, she shouldn't.
She should be defense.
I just love how the support, or there's that support image on every single freaking Twitter post of like, you want to be healed? Nope, fuck you. Go and fuck yourself. Symmetra.
Yeah, but well, I mean. So I don't play Symmetra as a support. I play her as a defense hero.
That's what I mean. Like everybody plays her as a defense hero. Nobody plays her as a support.
Yeah, she's not a support hero.
She is pure defense. I mean, she can. There is value for her on attack, and the fact that you can basically make just a little mini Reinhardt. And I've even made the joke a couple of times, much to Allan's chagrin. That hey, look, I can make a better Allan because this Reinhardt moves forward.
Are you talking about your shield?
Yeah, the little shield that you send out.
The little shield that you send out that moves forward and doesn't stop.
Yeah, exactly.
It's better Reinhardt in the fact that it
Better than Allan's Reinhardt, it moves forward. There have been so many times where I've been so incredibly frustrated with your Reinhardt while playing as Zenyatta, because I'm like, all right, I've got Harmony on you, I've got Discord on them, like, I've got my ult, if things go bad, go in, and you're just like, no, but my shield though. And I'm like, Allan, you're invincible right now, go in. Allan, I'm ulting, do something, stop holding your shield up.
At that point, I just do it out of just spite. I'm just like,
I find
no, fuck
Allan
you.
tends to be the Reinhardt that, like, if Allan is Reinhardt, I want to be Diva. Because Allan can sit there, hold back, and then I can just go up and fuck everyone's day up, and then run back to Allan when, like, I get the shit kicked out of me.
Diva's really good at disrupting. That's why I play her a lot. I play her a bunch
She
too.
has too many abilities, in my opinion. She has like the most abilities out of all the champions.
No.
Rocket's shield that just stops all damage.
And a boost.
Boost. On top of that, while her shield's up, she can fire her rockets.
You just think her being able to fire rockets while she's using her shield
It
is
is
a bad thing.
bullshit.
I will
really.
agree with you, and I will also disagree with you.
I would say that I can get around her way easier than most characters. Like, well, I mean, me versus her. Like, if I was, let's say I was Soldier and I'm going up against her, I would know what to do exactly, because I'm like, doing your dumb shield thing, I'll just wait for her to go away. Okay, now I'm shooting again.
Yeah,
you're going to use your missiles? You're slow as shit, and you're not going to hit me when I'm running away.
Well, actually, she can move at full speed while the missiles are going. But at the same time,
yeah,
Diva's really only a problem when she's in your face.
Yeah.
Other than that, she's
Yeah.
basically free ult charge, especially considering her head that her head box when she's looking at you is like half her hit box. It's really easy to get crits off on her. And now that her armor's been reduced so much, she's actually pretty easy to kill.
Yeah.
Especially if you got like some sort of shotgun. Even if you're like point blank, even if the Diva's point blank, if you're like a Reaper or something, you can still take that easily, even if she's doing a bunch of bullshit. Plus, if you're like right up in her face, then her shield doesn't block shit.
Actually, no, it does. They auto-corrected it so that it's like...
They fixed it so that it actually
right up to her
covers
face.
the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
That's the reason why I'm like, that's so bullshit, because you can be like... That's how that triggers, then the rockets would just disappear, because that would be the hitbox too.
Well, no, because like the lore reason behind the shield is that she's just deleting things manually. So she just doesn't delete her own rockets.
Dang. That's super fast.
Like, yeah. Why the fuck do you think that they don't shut the fuck up about 8 p.m.? It's a StarCraft joke.
I know. Either way out of it. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the next tank, though. There's rumors been spouting around going about that now.
I still just want Zenyatta to have like a flying kick or something.
Isn't that just his normal melee?
I mean, kind of, but I want him to just dash towards somebody when he does it and maybe have knockback on it. I know that's like stupid overpowered, but I just want to be able to just like yell "Hua" at my screen while I kick somebody off a ledge or something. Is that so
would
wrong?
That would be not fitting of him, because isn't he just a whole like be in the back healer type of dude?
I mean, kinda, but it is also just like a bomb. It's like Lucio's bomb. It's just like a get off my dick ability.
I mean, well, yeah, I guess that could work. Or just a really strong kick when he's standing.
Like you have a button to stand still, and then your melee just does like triple damage or something.
That could work.
My kicks are stronger when I put my feet on the ground.
Hold on. Let me use control here to stand and boop.
I don't think it's ever going to happen. Zenyatta's still got a like really comfortable place in the meta, so like he's still good. Plus his damage is all right.
Zenyatta's probably.
I just want like a more active tool when playing him.
He's actually pretty solid for the most part. Like he's not even in the middle. He's actually like pretty popular amongst them. Like the three who are still always used are Mercy, Lucio, and fucking Ana.
Zen.
No, I see.
No, you mean Reinhardt, Lucio, and Ana?
Yep. That's no, it was Lucio. Lucio, Ana, and Ana. Those are the three main supports that are used currently. Moira's.
You just said Lucy.
Yes.
You just said Lucio, Ana, and Ana.
No, I said Lucio, Mercy, and Ana.
Okay.
I mean, Mercy. I don't think. Okay, I'll be honest. I have not kept up on
Mercy.
meta, but because again, I barely play Overwatch still. But Mercy was out of use last time.
Yeah, because
I'd seen her.
it's because of how it's initially when they reworked her ult, they changed out how she was gonna work. But now that Moira's a thing, she's meant for middle field sustain, which is what you want for certain games now. Like any game that you require to capture a zone, you need her for sustain. Whereas Moira's good for dive comps with Lucio. Ana is just Ana. Fuck Ana. Like she's always in the meta.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's because she has the highest single target healing,
Yep.
and her
Yeah.
her ult's just really good for like making big plays.
You shoot fast.
You're powered up.
Do
Get
it.
in
Do
there.
it.
Get in there, murder the fuck out of them. We should move on from Overwatch though.
Yeah.
Yep, I suppose. I feel like it's a flagging conversation.
Yeah. Now we're just kind of circle jerking. And what's your favorite
And
character?
what's your favorite character? Good news, I guess. Let's be positive for a few
Yeah.
seconds, guys.
Uh-huh.
A Marvel editor was fired for calling SJWs a Nazi.
We're gonna talk about this right now. We wait
no,
till
we're
the end of
not.
that.
So wait, what's the story? Yeah, I saw this in the topic list. What's the story behind this?
He basically what he did was so an ex-Marvel employee just said Nazis were authoritarians, and then he equated SJWs to authoritarians, and apparently that was enough to fire him.
I mean, the statement of that fact is not only true, but like insanely accurate.
Pretty much.
I mean, more or less, yeah, I'd agree with you. But I feel like at this point, throwing around the word Nazi is just the quickest way to have like whatever you're trying to say completely ignored for favor of the fact that you use the word Nazi at any point ever.
It's not going to be the point of a person
Like,
yelling
I don't
fag at
understand
someone.
why this is making such a like why comparing things to Nazis is popular at all anyway. Like, it's been years. Like and like everyone is aware that like comparisons to Hitler don't mean anything over the internet, but people still fucking do it like it's intelligent now.
No, but I was gonna say, like, isn't it like saying someone's a Nazi is like saying, like some idiot out in real life yelling at you saying you're a faggot, and it's like, no, dude, just say I'm an idiot. Just say I'm an idiot. It's better words. Use your vocabulary, you dipshit. Like, God.
Yeah, like when you just use the basic bitch insults that everyone uses. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's easier to say something that everyone knows is a bad guy instead of sitting there and explaining it of why somebody's wrong, why somebody's opinion is wrong. Because think about a Nazi. Nazi is an catch-all term for, like, bad person.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and, like, that I think is the big problem here is that, like, we don't have a catch-all. There is really no catch-all term for, like, bad person.
I don't like this thing, ergo it's basically the Holocaust, so I have a right to get angry at you.
Yeah.
I don't like
Whereas,
this.
like-
I don't,
And that
I don't
attitude
like this
just
Jewish
sickens
black.
me to
I don't
no
like this
end.
Jewish black guy. Ergo, he's a Nazi.
Pretty much.
Right.
I have
like,
no. I have actually heard someone call a Jewish black guy a Nazi, and I'm just like, what?
He's like,
I was like, oh, what world am I in? And then I realized I'm surrounded by communists.
I think that the problem here is that, like, more so, like, it's the argument of accepting responsibility and stuff like that and understanding that people don't always agree with you. And I think that, like, in the political spectrum, like, a lot of people don't really understand that when people don't agree with you, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing.
Nope.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Like there are so many people, and like this is an attitude that disgusts me, and I've had to put up with it a lot lately.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it, or do you want to like
not naming
later?
a name, but I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna name any names, but yes, this is something I've had to put up with a bunch lately, and it's just like, okay, look, nothing you have ever you have to put up with or will ever have to put up with in your life
Will ever equate to
is
being
ever
burned
going to
death.
be even remotely applicable or like comparable to the Holocaust. No, you can't use "that's racist" or "that's offensive" to silence somebody and be taken seriously.
Yeah.
And holy shit.
Okay.
Like,
okay. And so
you're not intelligent or insightful. You just have fucking internet access.
Yeah. No. My favorite thing is, and I've actually heard somebody say this to me, and I was a little confused because I'm like, hold up, what? Is somebody said that communism has never been tried, and I stopped and I looked at him. I'm like, but what about all of those things that happened in China, North Korea?
But that's not true communism, Alan. True communism is where there is no government.
Communism works in theory.
In theory,
Communism
it really doesn't work.
doesn't.
Unfortunately, people are dicks in reality.
And they don't work in practice.
Yeah.
So an idea where we an ideal utopia where we all trust each other and everyone is treated the same would be great as long as everyone pulled their weight. But everyone's going to be a huge dick and just not work and just not do the things that they have to do because they're assholes.
Surprise.
Because humans require motivation because we are like selfish.
Yeah, we are. No, that's the correct statement to make there. No, we are selfish. No,
Yeah, like,
but the
There
thing,
are like
the
seven.
thing is, and the thing is, the person who also said that communism has never been tried and that stuff is also said like, yeah, and the Nazis were way worse. Look at how many people they killed. I just put up my hand. I'm like, stop. What happened in Ukraine? What happened with the Great Leap Forward? What happened in Cambodia?
I'd like to introduce you to Stalin.
Actually, I know a socialist who's like, no, I want to see socialism implemented, and I'm like, I don't think that's a really good idea, buddy. And he's like, but Norway, and I'm like, Norway's really not a socialist state, buddy. Venezuela is a socialist state.
I would be okay with socialism being implemented if it was implemented with a mixture of capitalism.
So a mixed market.
Yes.
What we currently have.
Yes. And the reason why I would be okay with that is because I think that there are some good things about socialism, and I think there are some good things about capitalism. Just throwing out the baby with the bathwater doesn't make sense to me.
It's what? Wait, are you saying that like no extreme ideology is the correct answer?
Correct.
That it's almost like it's some sort of combination of the best parts of both would be the ideal scenario. What?
Yeah.
I know it's a very hard thing to understand, Rory.
But my extreme vieupoints
Rory, stupid.
Rory, I love you, buddy. Rory, babe, calm down. Take a deep breath. Just calm down. I understand that. I understand you're trying to make a point. We've all agreed on this point. But the thing is, a lot of people fail to realize that the free market isn't just pure capitalism.
No, because pure capitalism would mean that like somebody would buy a road and then you would pay money to go on that road.
Yep.
Like that is pure capitalism. Pure capitalism is where like basically like
that's the reason why I hear ANCAP say I don't make taxation illegal again. I just look at them and go roads, and they just shut up.
But then you could build another whole new road.
Someone just came into my room. I needed to talk to somebody. All right, what did I miss?
We're talking about pure capitalism and how ANCAPs are just retarded.
I don't know, but like I just find it completely insane that people just don't understand that. Like there are easier ways to call somebody an idiot on the internet. Like for example, me saying Josh is a fucking idiot.
Jeff is a goddamn tool.
You should have just started crying, Josh.
And Josh, and then Josh probably can sit there and say an insult about me. Go ahead, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
He's not listening.
No, he's playing.
Nope. What?
Okay, we're talking politics. Josh doesn't do politics. You got to realize. Like,
I know.
I was thinking he was going for like that thing from Community where it's just like, I guess I'm just too charming and likable. Say something mean about me. I can't.
Well, Josh is like super easy to like I find Josh is like really good about like taking criticism and stuff like that, where I'm not. Like Josh, I will sit there and say, Josh, this work sucks, and then Josh will be like, okay, I'll improve on it. And then Josh will sit there and be like, your work sucks, and I'll be like, you motherfucker, like out for a week, crying my eyes out.
Very, very delicate emotionally.
Because the funny thing is, I am one of those rare people who can actually look at oneself and be like, am I actually doing this properly? And ask someone of like, is this thing I'm doing okay? Is it not like questionable to some degree? Is this, make sure I'm not going off the deep end here?
I try to do that.
Try to fix oneself.
I try to do that. It works quite well. I don't know.
So to go back a bit, because I think I got a bit off track with when I started ranting.
Well, but we all got off topic.
Like to go back to a point you were making, like, yeah, there is definitely a problem in a lot of people arguing over the internet or in person about whatever various ideologies they happen to be working like to hold dear. Is that you can disagree with someone but still have compassion for them. And I think there's a lot of people out there who just think that because I disagree with this person, I can no longer associate with them as like a friend. And that is an
Rory.
awful way to do it, because you're never.
I can testify to that, because I hung out with someone on the last weekend at Taste of Animathon. Her name starts with a V and ends with an I.
Yeah, I think Jeff told me you were talking about this earlier.
It was an interesting conversation, because that is the person who cannot. This is probably going to get edited out, because I just don't want to deal with the repercussions.
I'm not going to talk about it.
Don't give it. Don't you can edit out like the specifics.
But like all I'm going to sit there and say is like these are people who cannot accept responsibility.
Yep.
And like I find it very funny that like I can draw parallels between those people and the incidents that have happened in the past and go, huh. Like, it's very eerily similar, what I'm seeing. And
it's people who look at things in a very sort of black and white, this is right, this is wrong.
But
anything
that's the thing,
that
it's like
subscribe to my
nothing's really
particular
black and white.
ideology. Exactly.
It's all shades of gray. It's just like, the only thing I think that is really black and white is probably the Holocaust and genocide in general.
Actually, okay. So here's the thing, though. Like with the idea of the Holocaust, there is like what happened in Ukraine. It's actually got a name that ends in Holocaust as well. But the thing is I sit down and I look at the Holocaust and I go, well, yeah, I know it's a terrible, terrible thing, but I can understand why people argue that it didn't happen, because it's so mind-boggling. Like, it's like, how could you organize the mass destruction of an entire like how could you do it? And a lot of people, and I it's actually like, if you really sit down and think about it, it's so mind-boggling at times. Like we only know about like what the 8 million Jews he had killed. There's like another 11 or 20 million that he killed.
20,000.
No, 20 million.
Yeah, he killed a ton.
He killed a ton. It's a mind-boggling thing, and like we know mostly about the Jewish thing, and that's the Holocaust to people. But there's also like the gays, the Romani,
Hitler was a genocidal, insane person. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm not going to sit there and rebut your point, but I am going to sit there and say that like, you're 100% correct. When you think of that word in particular, it is a mind-boggling number.
Yep.
But like, that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Nope.
And I find it very funny that the same people who sit there and use the N-word Nazi so many times sometimes don't even understand that like they're going down that same path. And yeah. Anyways. So a guy from Marvel. Anyways, a guy from Marvel was fighting. He called the X-Men.
We got a little bit off track.
Yeah. I'm going to read the tweet now. X-Men are closer to Jews than SJW Hitler Germany, fighting for freedom because they see ideologies rising, silencing them, weaponizing hate, racism, and socialism against the people they claim are the root of social ills. SJWs are not Nazis, but Nazis are SJWs. and the X-Men are not SJWs. So, I think that's a...
I mean, I haven't read any of like the recent X-Men stuff. I haven't read any of the recent Marvel stuff at all, really.
I kind of get it through osmosis through a podcast, really.
Really, the only time I've seen Marvel like because I used to read Marvel comics a lot when I was a kid. Like there are some stuff that I thought was like super dope. Sort of outgrew it, and now the only time I ever hear about it is when someone writes something so incredibly abysmal that like people just have to make videos about it, or if someone gets fired from there because SJWs and all that jazz.
Ask me about
this sort of drama is the only reason Marvel's comics seems to be relevant anymore, at least from my perspective. And that's kind of an unhealthy way to run your business.
It's very scary and concerning.
I mean, to be fair, people who are in it probably be like, nah, things are way better than this, and that's probably true.
I imagine it would be for the most part.
Yeah, but the thing is that we see that we're not actively in the crowd is probably like, oh, this is the only things that steep up, and it's like, it's not good.
Yeah, the only thing that's at
You
reach...
see more positive things here.
I mean,
the
more
only thing that
positive
reach us
things,
are
like...
the controversies, basically.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, sorry. I was just saying the only thing that reaches us is if the only thing that reaches us is the controversy, then yeah, I suppose it's gonna look bad for no matter who we are.
So
Yeah,
that's a good point. So, Rory, speaking of positive things,
What's up?
you're going to the gym. You're getting in shape. You're lifting those weights.
That is true. I am getting swole
You're getting.
in my preparation.
He's getting muscles. He's no longer going to be a gamer.
Well, I mean,
Next.
I haven't played them. I still play video games. No. See, you don't understand. Like, even if I'm going to the gym and I'm working on becoming swole and embracing my Chad self, I will still have like all these years of nerdiness. I can still talk about video games.
He's gonna become
or anime
Chad.
or movies. No, you don't understand.
I'm going to go to a bar with Rory, and Rory's going to like get all the ladies, and I'm going to be sitting there being like, holy shit.
You do realize Rory has to actually be capable of talking to women competently, so I don't think that's going to happen.
To be fair, I fucking am, Allan.
To be fair, you don't need to be capable of talking to women if your abs are doing all the talking.
Yeah, if I can take off my shirt and they just swoon, then I'm doing something right.
Just have a...
no, actually, you do the you get a cup of wine and you're ripped, and you accidentally spill it on your white shirt and go, man, I have to take this off now.
And then I just flex and the entire shirt just explodes outwards, and then I put a rose in my mouth, and now I'm a fighting game character.
At that point, I'm like, oh, I'm worried for you, Rory.
It's funny because we're talking about Rory going to the gym, and I've been like running on my treadmill again recently because I'm like, I need to go running more and stuff like that, do more things. Okay, I'm just gonna run on the treadmill.
I gotta actually pick up my Dance Dance Revolution again because I'm like, man, I'm fat as fuck and I feel heavy. Like I never felt heavy before, and now I'm like, I need to go back on my DDR again.
Josh, you need to like, you just need to put a treadmill underneath your desk.
No, that doesn't work in my setup because my room is way too fucking
You just
narrow.
need a treadmill underneath your desk.
I'm not gonna lie though. So I had actually made a really big, extensive workout this week to start like working on my like upper body and my abs and my core and
You're
stuff.
cutting in and out. I think you need to talk a little bit louder.
So
Allan.
I started going to the gym over the course of the past 2 months, and this week I had made this really extensive plan. Like, okay, I'm gonna start doing all these push-ups. I'm gonna start doing weights. I'm gonna start doing crunches and stuff like that while I'm at the gym. Monday rolls around. I go to the gym. I do my run, and I'm like looking around. There's like a lot of people in the room this week. Like normally at this time of the day when I go up at like 10 or 11 in the morning, there's no one there. I'm like, this is great. I have silence. I can work on whatever machine I want. I had to wait for a treadmill that day, so I'm like, okay. So I finish my workout for the day. I go home, and my mom comes home from the work up at the base, and that's where I'm working out. And I ask, is like, hey, is there something going up the base today? It's like this weekend, and she's like, oh shit, yeah, there's that like ultimate weight like the ultimate training regime going on for like the Calgary, Lloydminster, Red Deer, and Edmonton, as well as like Cold Lake and a few other like cities here in Canada. I was like, oh no, I guess I'm not working out this week. I went up there on Tuesday and I just drove around for 20 minutes looking for a parking stall, and I'm just like, nope, I'm just gonna go home. I'm just gonna wait for this to be over. So I've been kind of just sitting here at home doing like dead body weight exercises all week, and I'm just like, I'm kind of upset that I didn't join Rory at like his gym.
I'm just down at the Y on the cheap plan because I'm unemployed.
Unemployed
Yeah.
now. You're not going to be employed in 3
And my
months.
plan is
Probably
my plan
not.
is to
Actually,
just
definitely not.
maybe buy 2 to 10-pound weights from Walmart and play more Dance Dance Revolution while holding said 10-pound weights. Maybe I should go to 5. I should probably go to 5.
I mean,
And maybe I'll do one of the shorter songs. Playing Dance Dance Revolution on easy mode. Yeah, no, like so I have indeed been hitting the game in an effort to multi-class. Like my goal is to just be like sort of transform myself into a total gym bro, so that when I meet my like brother's college friends, I can just start out acting like a total gym bro,
And then just
then the
nerd out.
moment they mention something nerdy, I'm just like, yes, I know all about that. I have seen the new Star Wars movie.
I'm going to be so excited.
By the way, have you
Rory's
heard
gonna
of-
be the
no,
have you
Chad
heard-
game developer. It's going to be great.
No, see, what you need to do though is like, in order to really weird them out, you'd be like, yeah, you're super Chad and super buff and blah blah blah.
Yo, bro, what's
And
going
then-
on? You want to share a protein shake? It's cool.
Yeah, and then you
And then
start
you have me
maybe
and Josh
talking about
come in the
Magic Gathering,
room
and then
with like glasses and
Then we
like
start-
nerd shit, and then we're like, "Hey, want to play D&D?"
or a true nerd thing, it'd be like, you know, Chad bra and whatever, and then you go, oh, see this angle of this wall and how is this mathematical equation to do this and that and this?
What?
See, there's different angles of nerd you can go with this. You could go, you know, popular nerd is Star Wars. Middle of the road nerd is like Magic the Gathering
No,
and card
no.
games. And extreme nerd is using
Angle of
mathematical
the wall?
theorems.
No, hold on. Angle of the walls?
Yeah,
I said
yeah, 'cause-
nerd, not fucking boring. God.
Okay, Josh, your definition
Pull
of
out my
nerd is
goddamn
really skewed.
protractor.
Your definition of nerd is really skewed, and I'm worried for you, bro.
Josh, I think you watch too much TV.
No, I've been watching this fucking YouTube channel. They're all like math and shit. And I'm like, this is kind of neat. I guess I'm learning, I think. And just doing all these math shit. And I'm like, this
Hey,
is
bro,
cool.
how many core rule books do you think I could bench? Dude, bro, like 80 core rule books. Bro.
Oh, fuck, bro.
I actually kind of wonder how much a core rulebook weighs now.
Probably like it's probably about maybe a pound.
So I was like, so about 80 pounds. That's a pretty
I'm
good start.
I'm just deadlifting like one of those giant weights.
Yep.
And then just zoom out, it's just like 2 anime figurines on each end. Multi-class.
Oh, no, it's a picture of SpongeBob where it has a stick with 2 marshmallows on either end. You're like, he's just running hard as he could to lift it. Like, that'd be good.
God damn.
Yeah, that sounds like Rory.
This is low key. This is all just an effort to be able to do like, I don't know, cosplay or some shit at conventions, because then I can cosplay huge dudes. Because I'm tall as fuck, so if I get ripped, I'm just gonna terrify people.
yeah,
it's gonna
yeah.
be really funny if we ever have him at like a booth or on a panel. It's gonna be
Rory
really
just
funny.
shows up, just ripped to all hell. He's like, "Sup, guys?" And we're like, "Hey, Rory."
Hey, Rory, and then like you just sit down and you
How's
just
it
like
going?
rip your
They're doing
shirt
bench
off.
curls right now.
Actually, whenever you get to a doorway, you have to walk her through it, or like you have to spin around 90 degrees so you can walk through the door.
I mean, I already have to duck for like low doorways, so
oh, you
Now
have to duck
now you have
and
to
turn
squat
90
your
degrees.
ass. Now you have to actually do leg day every day.
leg day every day. My legs are strong as fuck. I've learned. I have tiny baby weak arms, but my core is strong and my legs are thick apparently with muscles.
Friggin', you know, the funny thing about me, like showing about muscle strength and stuff like that. I went to what was it, like K Days or something, a long time ago with like me and my brother and sister and old boyfriend or whatever, and we're playing this game where you get on those giant air mattress things, and it's like, okay, you both have giant boxing gloves, and this entire thing is a giant bouncy castle, but it's boxing theme. And me and my brother are like, oh, let's do this. This will be fun. So we picked up these giant boxing gloves, and they both, they're kind of heavy, but they're, I would say, like 2 pounds, maybe 2.5. And they're kind of heavy, but they're like, yeah, you can pick them up. I picked them up, no problem. My brother can barely lift him up. He can barely pick him off the ground. And I'm like, Jeff, come on, pick him up. And he's like, okay, let's try. And I'm like, okay, Jeff. So I'm punching him, like, not hard, but I'm like, ha 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 ha. And I'm like, okay, Jeff, try to punch at me. And he limps it across me, and he barely touches me. And I'm like,
it's like the
holy shit, you're weak.
It's like the animations in Dark Souls when you don't have the stats to use a weapon.
Actually, yeah, that's exactly it.
That's exactly
oh god,
it.
That's
my god,
like, you're so weak. It was like, oh shit.
Maybe
I mean, I have never. I mean, it's really funny because your brother's name is Jeff and my name's Jeff. We're not related. And you're sitting there, you're like going like, man, Jeff seems like really weak and stuff like that. I'm sitting there being like, is he talking about
Jeff's just like a pathetic weakling.
Yeah, I'm just.
No, I'm talking. No. Trust me. I'd be like, you could probably lift these stupid. You're probably more stronger than my brother.
Just eliminate the part where you mention it's your brother, and then just be like, wow, thanks, asshole.
Jeff's like so weak.
Oh man, I'm such a dick. Oh no.
Man, just like knocked over by a stiff breeze.
Anyways, ladies.
Almost.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
What?
Let's get ripped. Let's go get ripped.
Yeah.
Actually, Josh, I'm all for that. I'm actually all up for getting back in shape.
Not
Mine too. I already do like an hour every day of the week on a treadmill, and it's. I've been slowly increasing the speed, and I hate myself every time I do it.
You're like,
hi.
Beep.
I've been using a stair stepper for.
I'm doing just mostly treadmill right now because I want to get my cardio back, and it's almost to the point where I'm happy with my cardio. But this week,
cardio, I'm going with this like off-brand elliptical thing.
Oh, jeez, no, Rory.
What?
Okay.
What?
I hate our treadmills up at the base because, like, the difference between like 6 and 6.5 is like absurd at times because you're like, I can just do this, and then you bump it up by half of a step, and you're like, oh god, I can't do this. It goes from like just reasonable to being like, hey, I'm an absurd speed, have fun.
Well, you found your wall. Now you got to push past.
So 5 kilometers.
Well, that's the thing is
it 5 kilometers an hour to like 12 kilometers an hour?
5 kilometers an hour is like what I normally do at the start, which is a minute of 2.5, and then I'd bump up to 6, and then I'd do a minute of 8 for the very end. So like that's how I do it. I do it in intervals of 10-minute intervals of everything. And so like currently the current calorie burn is 690 calories currently.
I don't know. I just got to eat better, and then I'll get my dance pad, and then I get some like 5-pound weights, and I'll just dance my.
Please don't.
I'll dance my weight away, man.
Dance,
great.
Dance the diabetes away.
Dance the diabetes away while drinking Pepsi. It'd be fine.
There's your problem,
Pepsi, so it's gay.
Yeah.
I have found that since I started working out regularly, I'm fucking hungry all the time.
What?
Like,
oh yeah.
And it's like always just for meat. I want like steak right now.
That explains a lot.
Give me steak.
Just eat this giant bowl of stew, and I want a fucking steak.
No, just leave out the eat part and just want to fuck it.
Why though? Oh god, that ribeye, them curves.
You're so ripped. You're like, I need to fuck this steak.
I'm gonna fuck this ham.
Jesus Christ! What? I had tuned out for a moment from like work the diabetes away. I'm like, I'm not just gonna tune out for a moment while I go look at this like a quick chat, and I tune back into, I'm gonna fuck this ham. What?
All I heard was fuck this
Josh
ham, and was
brings
like
us
immediately
always back.
taken out of like watching my nephew read a book for the first time and go,
I will never get
I
back
gotta
my
get you
happy
guys'
moments
attention
again.
somehow.
he will start reading to
Oh,
me, and I'll
God.
just think back to this moment, and then I'll just be like,
Man, I can't. Man, okay, so I've never gotten any like feedback on any of the podcasts I'm on. I wonder what people who listen think of me. Do they just think I'm a fucking
They
psychopath?
probably do.
Maybe.
Rory's probably
Like,
the first
I'm
person.
terrified of.
Rory's probably going to be the first person that commits a murder-suicide of this group.
Probably not.
No.
Not my style.
It really isn't Rory's style.
He will just become a mass murderer.
I'd prefer to sass people to death.
I can see that. That's
mean,
something I
well-
can see with great ease.
Rory just sasses
I can
somebody, they run
weaponize
into my
sass.
car, die horribly.
Jeff did it.
No,
Why is there
okay.
blood on your Mustang,
No,
Mr.
you-
Rock?
no, you
Let's get back on our topics, boys. Let's come on. Let's stay focused. Stay on target. Stay on target.
I want to talk about how.
Loosen up.
I want to talk
Stay
about
on target.
Let's talk about how Josh is
use
getting
the
back
force?
into.
Star Wars, goddammit.
Let's talk about how Josh is getting back into Magic the Gathering.
Again.
Yeah. Good news. I finally found people to play Magic the Gathering within my same little, medium, big city, Leduc, in this fucking town, and I can play Magic regularly on the weekday, on like the middle of the in the week now. And I'm like, yay! But there's bad news. I'm playing Magic the Gathering again.
Yeah, I mean, basically, because that's just gonna siphon all your money away.
I casually respond with I play Warhammer 40k and Armada. Money siphoning away is a thing for me.
I haven't touched War Machine in a while, so
That's because third edition is terrible for you guys, and you've already said that so many times.
it's not bad. I don't know. I'm just like I just don't want to leave my house sometimes, especially when it's like halfway across the city I have to drive. So
Yeah, fair. I get lucky. I only have to drive I only have a 10-minute drive to get to my gaming store. Hey.
Me too. 10-minute drives are awesome.
They are. They're very nice. Rory doesn't understand that because he lives on the south side, and everything is far away
Yeah,
from
basically.
everything is far away from
Yeah,
him.
like, okay, so I want to play more Magic because I have barely gotten to play since I graduated. And I know there's like Commander nights at Warp on like Wednesdays, I think it is.
It used to be Mondays. I don't know. I haven't gone to Commander there in forever.
Yeah, I went there like once, but but it turns out they'd rescheduled it, so it was just me and stuff in there playing Commander, and then like a standard tournament going on. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
well, this sucks.
Yeah.
You're like, shit. These stupid standard bros.
Plus, Warp's
Fuck.
like halfway across town.
Which warp are you
Warp
going
2.
to?
Warp 2.
There's
You're gonna
technically
Warp
one by on White Ave.
Yeah,
but
which is a lot closer.
it's a lot closer to you. But I honestly, Warp 2 is kind of where like most of the big Magic games start to happen. Like Warp 1 has Magic there too, but I don't know if they have a Commander community there. I know Warp 2 has it though.
They might. I have no idea. The main reason I'd go to Warp 2 is because that's where I like know a bunch of people, and it's also about like near where Stefan lives.
It's actually pretty funny because Chris only works there 2 days a week now.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it the last couple times I've gone in, but I've only gone in like at random intervals because again, it's across town, and I don't need to pick up that much nerdy shit.
Yeah.
Anymore.
I don't go to Warp.
I get it delivered to me.
Yeah,
Amazon's great.
I actually have to wait. I might have to go down there like later this upcoming week to see if they get something in, because the new Armada wave's coming out this week, and I'm going down to a tournament down to Calgary, and I need some cards from those boxes. So I'm kind of like, hey, Fantasy Flight, is my things going to be shipped on time or no? So I'm kind of like,
Give me cards.
give me my new ships.
Speaking of having to go pick up stuff, I have to go shopping this Friday. See if something came
Why?
in.
Why?
Because I have to see if something came in.
Are you leading into a story right now, or
No.
did you just want to just pop into that
I
conversation?
just wanted to pop in
okay.
that conversation. I wanted to feel included.
I thought this was going to
on my
lead into,
show.
so I picked. So
I thought you had.
I just wanted to talk
Josh.
about that pile of
Yeah,
dragon
I was
dildos
gonna
that I
say-
ordered.
It's gonna say for all the places you can play card games in Edmonton. There's quite a bit of places like the Adventurers Guild. Like it's a huge
I've
place.
heard the Adventurers Guild is not a
there-
good place to go.
No, I think that's another thing. Is like there's a big gathering there, but I've kind of heard is there are like a lot of douchebags going on there. It's like
the
okay,
store
don't
owner is
go.
actually kind of a dick. Apparently, that's kind of the reason why I'm like,
Yeah.
I put my hands up and I go, okay.
I barely hear
Yeah,
about that place, but
the
everything
thing
I hear
is-
is bad, so I'm inclined to believe you.
Yeah, and another thing is like I like to go to Warp 3 in the Millwoods
God,
Mall, and I'm
Warp
like that's pretty good. I like that
Hold on.
place. It's fine.
Josh, just let me put it this way. I know the store owners for all three warps. I know Mike, the guy who owns the stores, and I asked him, so what's Warp 3 to you? And he's like, you ever heard of the term redheaded stepchild? I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
I was about to
They
say,
still
just
have,
like
the thing is, Warp 2 and 1 have stopped carrying Warhammer stuff because like GW kind of like fucked a lot of people out of like buying products for the stores for a while. And oh, God damn it, Jeff! I can't talk about that right now. Fuck you. But like when they
What?
finally like stopped carrying products at Warp 2, and they're like, well, the product's not selling, even though I'm just like, hey, I'll buy it, but like mark it down at a reasonably discounted price, and I'll buy it. But they're like, nah, we'll just send it over to Warp 3. Apparently, none of the products sold there, so I'm kind of tempted to go there to see if I can just go, hey, let's see if you got some Bretonian stuff, because
Actually,
I want to look for.
I would say like I've seen that wall there, and I always look over and go, "Oh, cool, that stuff is there." But I never sunk into the fact that like they just stopped. Everyone else stopped selling it. I always see it there, so I always assume it's everywhere else.
They've probably got like old Warhammer Fantasy stuff. Like you gotta remember, like Warhammer Fantasy doesn't exist anymore. It's now a Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
Age of Sigmar, yeah.
Sit in the Space Marine. By the way, I actually had a gripe with somebody like about that real quick. I had a gripe with somebody about that. It's like, why would I want to play Age of Sigmar? The reason why I loved Warhammer was because it was humanity struggling against all these greater forces, and they were winning consistently because they had technology or constant valor. And it's like, yeah, but these guys aren't human. And I'm like, that's the point. The intense rage I felt at that moment. Like they even explained in the lore that the new Sigmarines, that's what everybody calls them, are not human. They're like something like a happy mix between like an Ogren and a fucking human, and they're like just not interesting to me. Like they look cool, and I'm like, I totally use them for like Warhammer 40k models because they look so cool.
I don't know. I think they look kind of dorky. They just look like the dorkiest, like, again, redheaded stepchild of Space Marines, right?
Basically. But no, like they're Warhammer, like the Warhammer Sigmar, they've been putting out a lot of new models like nonstop. The dwarves have the fire dwarves and the fucking air dwarves. The fire dwarves being nothing but naked, and the air dwarves are completely covered over, so you don't even see any of their body. I'm like the ships look really cool. Like the dwarf ships look really, really cool, and I'm like, I'd play this faction. Except for me to buy any of these ships, the cheapest ship of this game of this faction is $60, and it just goes up from there. And there's 3 different ones, and I'm like, I want one of each if I want to play this faction, and I'm not about to spend $120 on a model that size for no reason.
I mean, I spent $120 on a model that was pretty big.
Yes, but have you used it though?
Multiple times.
I spent $4,000 on cardboard, but I guess we already talked about magic.
Card stock. Get the term correct. Card stock.
Rory, how was
Yeah,
it?
but
How was it blowing
it has a lot more
$4,000?
it has a lot more impact if I say cardboard. Also, it's 4,000.
How was
That's what he
spending
said.
$4,000 on cardboard?
Fun and slow.
How was it getting fucked in the ass?
Wouldn't know.
Really? No.
My
'Cause
anus is
no.
safe. Like, I had a good time with magic cards when I was using them frequently because I was going to Nate, but then I graduated, so
And now you just sit at home,
Womp
pulling your
womp.
fingers, going, "I want a job."
pretty much.
I mean, I have
Oh,
EI,
boy.
but yes, I would like a job.
Like,
Preferably one that doesn't suck.
No.
Can I get a job that pays, please? How about this one at a fast food place?
No. Like I said, I'm getting EI. Why would I want to work at a fast food place?
Yeah. I mean,
I'd be making
Last
less
time I
money
worked-
and have less dignity.
yeah. I'm freaking the last couple times I worked at, or the last time I worked at a fucking fast food place, I just hated every fucking moment of it.
Yeah.
Every fucking
I'm gonna
moment.
testify to that.
I have never worked at a fast
Turns
food
out
place.
working well. Work at a fast food place,
I
motherfucker.
refuse.
Did you ever work at
Because
retail?
I would
I
pay.
work retail though.
Yeah. Then you know. Then
Yeah,
you know
it's basically the same
Who
thing.
knows the suffering?
It's the same thing except with more grease.
That's kind of
Yeah,
why I
and
avoided
occasionally
it.
More
vomit.
grease.
more
and-
grease
and more
grease
hecticness.
and less stock. That's the trade-off. It's actually I know somebody who's worked both, like who worked two jobs. They were working at Walmart and was working at McDonald's, and they made the comments like it's basically the same thing. It's just one has grease and one has stock, and I was like, wow, wow.
We should move on. We should move
Wow.
on.
Yeah, this is depressing me. All right, yeah. What else?
Oh,
What else
boy.
is good? What else
Endless
is up?
Dungeon.
Yeah, I played Endless Dungeons with the boys over on the TeamSpeak
How is that
channel.
suffering going? 'Cause from
It's-
the way you've got everything
it's great. Okay, that game's actually like pretty chill, and I like doing and I like playing it a lot. At the same time,
Fuck stuff.
fucking hell, Zip's an idiot.
This is no one Khaleesi.
We had a game where it was me, Stefan, Zip, and Mike actually, because he comes on here onto the TeamSpeak occasionally now that he's in my Saturday game that Allan is also in.
Hey.
We've only had one session and it didn't go particularly far, but
We tried. We really
We were
did.
playing
we
through
really,
it.
really did try.
yeah. But well, I mean, we've got another session which is also probably going to start late tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, so we're playing through this game, and basically Mike's playing this really like high wits character who's just sitting on a one of the generators and just basically banking resources and keeps banking resources over the course of the entire game. I think at like the point where things got fucked up for us, he had like over 1,000 industry, which is a lot. And like we're progressing through it. We're having a good time. Like we bought a bunch of like research stations that we were able to keep like entire floors of the later levels lit, and we were just like stomping. We were doing a great job. And then all of a sudden, despite the fact that we were down a player because Stefan died like earlier on, and then we had a plan that was like, all right. So we've got 1 billion dust, but we've also got a dust merchant on this floor. So we're going to go to him, sell, like, use all our dust to buy stuff, then sell that dust to the science merchant so we can have a shit ton of science. And then because the dust won't carry over, but the science will, right? Unfortunately, Zip decided to grab the core, which basically starts the whole like, oh god, everything's spawning and trying to kill you like endlessly, so you got to escape to the next floor thing, right? Mm-hmm. And when we were but we had the entire floor lit, so nothing could spawn. So basically, like the alarms are going off, but nothing's coming to kill us yet. But we're just like, oh, but we still want to do the plan, even though this idiot grabbed the thing ahead of time. So he sold a bunch of dust, which turned off all the wrong rooms because it does it randomly, and then we just got swarmed and died.
That sounds like Zip.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
downloading. Wait, do I own this already?
What?
I play this game.
Other than yes, you can be entirely fucked over by your friends just being incompetent boobs, but otherwise it's a pretty fun game. It's pretty chill to
I might need to play this
especially
with
if
you
you
guys.
just give like
I hate my household.
if you just give
currently.
someone the job of like doing all the building and someone doing all the researching and someone's just exploring. Everyone's sort of doing their own thing, but you're all still sort of working together. And then somebody like just goes, "Oops," and you're like, "Wait, what happened?"
It's done. It's
Oh,
Dungeons
we're all
of the
dead.
Endless. You said.
Dungeons of the Endless, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's a pretty cool roguelike thing, and every character is like a reference to something.
Okay, I might actually have to like get this and play it with you guys maybe one of these days.
It's pretty fun. I'd recommend it.
Oh, by the way, a quick aside related to roguelikes and game simulations and stuff like that. So I was playing. Well, it's not a roguelike, but it's a random generated map and stuff like that. I'm playing Stellaris. And yeah, Jeff knows where the story's going. Or has a feeling where the story's going.
Did you genocide an entire species?
No.
Did you take over an entire species and then integrate their culture?
I'm playing multiplayer with 3 of my friends. And we're all spread out the galaxy. We finally make contact with each other after 100 years of gameplay. Or like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? We're starting to make our alliances. And then one of the end game events happens, and we're like, wait, what? And we're just like, because one of the guys hadn't been telling any of us what he was researching. He's like, don't worry about it. I'm just researching the basics. He hadn't told us that he had researched 3 red techs, which all have the result of possibly spawning an end game scenario boss
Early,
and not just early, aggressively early. So he's like, yeah, I've got side jump drive, and all the other two, me and the other 2 guys are just dead silent.
So basically, he's just researching warp tech.
No. Actually, warp tech is actually in the game. This is different. This is side jump drive.
I'm talking 40K
I know.
warp.
No. I know what you're talking about. This isn't like that. This is more like what? This is more like what's it called?
I researched the wrong things, and now there are demons here, guys. Help.
So the others show up. They show up, and they don't show up in his territory. No. They don't show up in any of the other 2 guys. They show up in the middle of my territory. I'm like, well, guys, I guess I'm fucked. And they're like, why? It's like the other I've just spawned in my territory. Good night, my sweet prince, was one of those comments. I start to slow them down. I start winning battles. I just start containing them as best as I can. And then one of the other players goes, fuck. And I just scrolled up and looked at where he was. And I just see the other unbidden faction show up. I'm like, Jesus Christ, really? So he starts struggling to fight. And then I'm sitting there. I'm like,
and meanwhile, your friend is just gleefully researching away.
No. He realized. So he's actually sending us resources to buy new ships and he's like, I'm so sorry. Here, take these resources. Take these resources. And then the third unbidden faction shows up, and the other player's faction, and he just immediately swarms them and takes them out. He was so ready for him. He's like, I'm just building basically anti-Daemon tech, and I'm actually, you know what, I'm gonna agree with you on the analogy. It is actually warp drive. I'm not allowed to think about it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll just agree with on that because it makes it easier. So he sends his fleet over. We clear out my unbidden faction. I start to recolonize all the territory I lost. We send our fleets up to help the other guy clear out his territory. He recolonizes. We're all like, yeah, this is awesome. This is sweet. We did it. And then there's 2 fallen empires parked in the middle of the map that are right side by side. One is an aggressive, authoritarian, militaristic faction. The other is an Evangelion faction. They awaken and go to war. And we're like, oh, that's not so bad. And then they promptly looked at us and go, you will join us or you will die. And we're like, fuck.
God damn it, really?
So we went through 2 endgame events in the span of 45 minutes of gameplay, and when we finally finish with the dead empires, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, this can't get any worse. There's no way anything else can go wrong. And I just hear oops from, again, the guy in the top corner who was researching AI. we had 3 endgame.
Did I just accidentally a doomsday scenario again?
He didn't cause the second one. It wasn't his fault.
So let me get this straight. He researches Terminators next.
Well, no, the way the AI tech works is he researched robots, like dumb robots that you like that have no intelligence. They're just like servants. Then they upgrade to androids, and then above that, then they become like sentient AI. And sentient AI has like a different branch that you go down that goes. He didn't touch none of that stuff. He got to androids, and then something happened. I don't know what happened because I actually watched, like I went back and watched the replay from like where he like from like 20 minutes before where he says oops, and I'm just like sitting there like watching the video while he's going through it. And I'm seeing how he's going down the research path when he gets to androids, and he sees the red one and he goes, and he just says nope, and I see him hover over for a second and then goes up to the next one, and he hasn't even researched like certain shit. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm watching this happen, and then it just spawns, and he's like, what the? I'm just like, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? we no matter what, like we survived 3 end game events. We couldn't get the 4th one because the 4th one gets canceled out if one of the other end game events happen. But I didn't expect Fallen Empire's Awakening, and Terminators, all from one guy. I know how you feel. I know how you feel, Rory. I know your pain with Sip.
I feel like you're feeling that on a galactic level though, which is hilarious to me. Just like I love the idea of like the one awkward like
oops
civilization in high school constantly fucking up for all his friends.
You know what makes it even worse for me? You know what makes it even worse for me is I'm playing a military faction. My other guy is playing a military. Another is playing a technocracy. Another one's playing human. The other guy's playing humans. And the guy who did all these fucked up little research things is playing a
mushrooms.
No, he's not playing mushrooms. He's playing he's playing a hive mind faction. So
we did a lot of thinking, and we think it's our fault, our bad.
And I was just mind boggled with what happened. I was like, you've seen that GIF with like that guy who does.
Yeah,
that's what happened to all 3 of us when we realized like he's playing the hive mind. So we're like, how the fuck does this happen? Oh God.
Clearly, the hive mind did not.
Which game was that one?
Stellaris. I'm looking forward to Apocalypse because they're coming out with Death Stars, and I'm like, yes.
Oh boy, is there a Grey Goo scenario in that at all?
A what?
A Grey Goo scenario, like nanomachines go haywire.
Technically, there is a little side quest that you like research the fall of like a very like precursor empire, and you find out like they got killed by like a virus, and it's described in a way that it's like it happened so quick that like the empire couldn't really respond to it, and all the slave empires rose up, which like it's so vague at how they're defeated. It's in some cases in the dialogue it's listed as a biological contaminant. Other ones are listed as like nanites and stuff like that. So like it's like weird. There's no end game for us as players that revolve around Grey Goo because we get the AI end game event. Which, by the way, the AIs are fucking terrorists. All AI.
All AI is terrorist.
Turns out most artificial intelligences don't end well ever.
I've only had one game in Stellaris where I've had AI end well.
No, just like in fiction in general.
I know. Well, it depends upon which fiction you're talking about.
Name an AI that worked out great.
Cortana. Well, no, I can't say that anymore.
Cortana worked fine up until Halo 5.
Yeah.
And Windows 10.
She still does work fine.
Jokes. You're the worst, Allan.
You fucking love me. No,
is that all
don't
the
forget,
topics? Are we done the podcast?
Don't forget to talk about.
We're now just shooting shit unless you want to like go off and do something. Like unless you got something more important to do.
I mean, we have one more.
I've got a bit of something, but I'm probably just gonna go hang out on TeamSpeak since there's a bunch of people on right now, and they're all. Like, I've got, 5 messages that I have to respond to now.
Most of them are saying you're an asshole. Get online.
Yeah, basically.
I'm gonna probably end up doing some 3D modeling tonight. That means.
Okay. So
Me
thank
too.
you everyone for listening to the Black Mind Podcast. You can listen to us every Thursday on podbean.com. Hope everyone had a wonderful week. And thank you. Goodbye.
Make sure
See you
tune
later.
in, you Nazis.
Nazis. Hey man, those Nazis.
Nazi
Snazzy dressers. Those uniforms are crisp, designed by Hugo Boss.
Hey,
Damn.
we're going. Okay, we're done.
I need to restart recording. I'm just gonna record the bullshit we get up to, because apparently depression porn is a thing now.
Depression.
God damn it.
God damn it.
A lack of appreciation towards Hogwarts. That's very depressing, guys. You know, T-Mobile and Sour Patch Kids just joined the Overwatch League as sponsors.
You know, I do have a couple topics.
You could yell at me for a good 20 minutes.
I mean, we'll save that for later.
Someone got
We'll keep that on the
fired.
docket.
Dear Lord. And now I'm just looking at Chris Farley shit, and I'm like, God damn it, he was so good.
Chris Farley?
Yeah.
I think he's okay.
He's really good overreacting actor, really. Half hour.
I hope this is picking up all of the voices I'm making with my health. I also finished watching Voltron. I'm also watching a lot of Voltron. Oh, I tried to mine Bitcoin and I think they fucked my computer. You fucking idiot! You motherfucker!
What?
That's why my computer was so
God
shit.
damn.
You did it like a couple of days
piece
before.
of shit! Oh my
'Cause
god!
I was like, hey, Garlic Coin came out. I was the sub to their sub forum on Reddit. I was like, I'll try to do this thing, and it didn't fucking work.
Oh, you anger me. You anger me. You generally anger me.
You mean genuinely?
I am.
Yes.
I am
Yes.
generally.
He's so mad he can't spell or speak.
I am.
The first thing I have to type, and you're immediately on a fucking roof.
In other news, Logan Paul didn't realize that people who commit suicide kill themselves.
Do you know that people die when they are killed?
You mean people?
What?
You mean people don't just respawn at the next spawn point?
Bruh, you mean you don't like respond?
Holy shit! That your dude bro voice is too on point.
Oh my god!
You mean, bro? You mean, that hurts my throat when I do this?
It does sound like you're. Like, it's specifically Dude Bro who's taking a massive dump, but it's still a Dude Bro voice.
Yeah. Like, if I would do more Dude Bro, it'd be more like, bruh, hey, bruh, what's going on, bruh?
Oh my god, bruh. Let's go, bruh.
Bro.
Bruh. Let's talk about this, bruh. Bruh, don't touch me, bruh. Oh my god, look at the glutes, bruh. Look at the glutes, bruh.
Or fucking some of the terrible webcomics you read. There's like some hypnotism porn comics that are around. And it's like, these are fucking like borderline weird and shitty.
Hypnotic porn comics.
No one's. Yeah. But the dumb thing is, some of these are like, oh god, how do I describe some of them? Some of them are like, oh, hypnotism works and it works too well and blah blah blah. But then there's some of them that's like,
we just made her horny forever. Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like there's really shittily written, or there's ones that are like actually had
in this
time of
episode,
writing.
I guess we talked about fucking hentai. God damn it, Josh.
In this episode,
We've
we talk
talked about dicks before, but anime, this is a new low for this podcast.
Have we talked about anime before?
Possibly.
Oh no, it could
anime porn. Specifically,
no,
I don't know.
just anime in general. God damn it,
we've
Josh.
talked about. I mean, Voltron is basically anime. There's anime moments in Voltron.
I mean, we had like anime-esque discussions. Big streaming lines coming out of each other in heat discussions.
Yeah.
And we slapping the tables and going, objection!
So specifically the Phoenix Wright anime. What is Allan coming on? Oh no, okay.
It's taking forever, like it usually does, because he has a job or something.
He's on a fucking period. He's on his fucking period or whatever.
Allan's just Allan. He don't worry about Allan. Allan's just being Allan. Which is saying what? He's probably going to come in and bitch about Vicky for another 40 minutes.
Okay. Does he do that a lot?
No, he came in and bitched about Vicky last meeting, and I'm sitting there laughing my head off. And she just said some stuff that, like, really, really made me just, like, facepalm.
Like, I didn't even realize he was still in contact. Well, I guess I'm not really too much in contact with Allan anymore either. Oh, well.
I know I know that, like, I'm in contact with a lot of people at Nate through Facebook and through this Discord. But, like,
really, it's just the people I hang out with, like, that I still play D&D with, and you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're cool as shit, right?
Well,
right?
That and you give me an outlet to just, like, screech autistically for, like, a couple hours at a time.
No, we don't. We don't give you a chance to go...
Thank God I'm recording this.
Yeah, it's important. All right. Hold on a second. Someone just walked into my room.
It's your brother. He's probably like, why are you autistic?
Just re again when he's in the room, please.
He's probably like, why are you autistically screeching? and then you can be like, I will destroy you.
Ooh. The Witness is down to 75%. It's like $11. I already bought it.
That's nice.
Shit.
That's nice, Josh.
I really think this, even for $11, The Witness is fucking good.
I love explaining to my family why I was just screeching autistically. so I have a podcast where I just hang out with a bunch of guys who just, make... It's funny.
Are you okay? Are you having an epileptic shock?
It's like, no, look. We're a bunch of internet dorks that like to scream loud things at the top of our lungs because it's lol's random.
I've been hanging out with people on the internet over voice chat for ever since I graduated high school, really.
Oh man, I can't.
So like my family just does not pay attention if I'm just in the room next to them screaming, "Get the dick at the top of my lungs."
See, my dad would walk in and go like, "Are
sometimes
you
I
gay?"
just have lucid moments where I'm just like, what the fuck am I saying out of context? And I look over at my family and they don't even give a shit because they're just used to it.
Yeah, well, fucking, I wish I could do that, but my dad's always like, "Could you fucking just turn it down? Like, God, do you really have to like do that?" I'm like, yes.
Yes, it's important.
It's very important. I tell this asshole to do his shit. Yeah. Fucking carry me, you asshole.
What?
The only person I will carry is Josh in Shell Shock.
This is every other time on an online game, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I want my fucking crate or whatever, and it's like, all you hear is, "Fucking carry me, you asshole."
I don't want to do work. I just want the reward. Is that so wrong?
Exactly.
What a world
sounds
is
like-
this where a man cannot be rewarded for nothing?
The only thing that sucks is that, let's say you're doing good and then you just lose at the last 10 seconds, and then you're like, I could have got a box there. Now I have to be on this longer. Fuck you.
I had to play this video game that I'm choosing to spend my free time on.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
like-
Exactly.
You think I came here to play this game for fun? No, it's
I came
for
here for
virtual
fucking
loot
clothing.
boxes.
I came here for loot boxes and
Y'all
clothing.
motherfuckers better be recording. This shit is gold.
Is it really? I think it's not.
Just screeching
Oh,
about
it's-
loot boxes.
Loot boxes.
Loot boxes. Apparently there's loot boxes in League
Let
now.
me tell you about my loot boxes.
I feel like loot boxes are just a singularity that we're slowly building towards.
I feel like I can't wait until the Western game industry just crashes.
I doubt it.
It's-
ever.
Yeah, I don't, because of the internet, I highly doubt that's going to happen because there's too much resources to be like.
Also,
'cause
because
the
like
reason-
the loot boxes are going to actively contribute to the to like the industry never collapsing.
Oh yeah, and another
Ever.
thing is like, or if anything, the government could just step right in and go, no.
That's what's happening. And that's
It's
not
too
what
big to
people
fail.
want.
Like, I mean, there can be step arounds to this because there's always a step around to it, but at the same time, it's like, it's going to be more and more legitimate to the point of I would be super like super entertained to the point of there's a government a sub part of the government can like help putting out, like not putting out, but like controlling the games industry to some point, not totally controlling it, but more of like, are you doing shitty things with loot boxes? No, okay, fine, you're fine.
Welcome to
Are
the
you
Tinfoil Hat podcast, where we come up with stupid theories about how the government is controlling the games industry to control
The
our
government
minds
should
with
not
loot
control the
boxes.
games industry, but the government can play a role in creating legislation or organizations for the games industry, like the ESO.
No, I want full blown conspiracy theory where like Call of Duty just actually brainwashes you.
I wouldn't be surprised if that does turn out to be some sort of realism.
Vote Reagan.
Smoke.
No.
Smoke.
Smoke. Are
No, Rory, you're missing the
smoking
point.
yet?
It wouldn't be vote Reagan. It would be people being like, vote Donald Trump. You should like one of your characters is like pulling a trigger.
I
It's
was
like,
trying to
"Glad I
avoid like
voted for
actually.
Donald Trump.
No, I think it's funnier if the subliminal message are all just wildly irrelevant.
So wait, what could it be yelling
It's
about?
time to reinvigorate the smoking industry. Buy cigarettes. Yeah.
Or invest in cardboard, match it together.
Buy war
cards.
bonds today. Yeah.
Coffee industry is on the up.
Watch out for that Hitler. He's a real bad egg. I mean, yeah,
Just
Scotty.
wildly out of date.
Yeah, let's like proper like we. This is important lore. This better go in the fucking podcast.
This is important.
This is
We're building some great lore here,
This
guys.
is important
Great
lore. All video games are just a device by which subliminal messages from like the 50s are delivered to the youth of today.
It's like weird. I feel like I should smoke a pack of smokes and drive my car recklessly down the road. I don't know. Oh, weird.
Seatbelts, what are those? Sounds like one of those pansy inventions from Europe. Yeah.
I can't wait
fuck.
until 80s like propaganda starts becoming a thing in these video games.
Rambo. Yeah, no, like the propaganda is just like 100 years behind.
Yeah. Yeah, you should watch Rambo, the most epic movie ever made. It will rip into your soul.
Actually, you know what's really fucked up?
Gundam and Dragon Ball Z and other stupid shit.
Yeah, it's just it's just subliminal advertising for stuff from like 70 years ago every time.
You know what's really fucked up in the 80s, though, for, like, rated R films? There's fucking action figures for those films. Like, Alien is a good top example of, like, get these Alien action figures. And it's like, okay, cool, but who are these aiming for? Are you aiming for the kids? The kids should not be handling these things. Like, what the fuck?
You kind of make a good point, but at the same time, like, kids were definitely the target audience of those movies.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like at the same time,
kids-
it's like they know where the cool shit is, and it's the R-rated films.
Yeah, no, R-rated movies were made so that kids could sneak into R-rated movies that they shouldn't be able to see. That's what they're there for.
Exactly. So that's why the film industry is failing. There's no cool shit there at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there is kind of, but not the ones you want.
I'm just happy that all of this stuff is like it's coming back around. Like, there's not a lot of bad things in like some of these movies. Like Mad Max. Name one bad thing in Mad Max.
Well, the thing is running into this redundant hole of constantly pushing
like
out.
Bad from what perspective? Like bad from like a cinematography
It's like
perspective,
R-rated movies. Because like I'm pretty sure
like stuff that's inappropriate for children.
Yeah.
I don't know. The pregnant woman going under the car wheels was pretty bad.
They don't show that though.
Yeah, but it happened.
I know it.
That's pretty brutal.
I don't know.
I mean, I think that's a movie I haven't seen yet. Damn it.
Mad Max?
Whatever.
By the way, you still haven't fucking uploaded me and Allan just bitching about Star Wars.
I do. I need to do that.
Just do it.
I should.
Do it.
I'm saving it for a week after. I think.
But then it's going to be super irrelevant.
I should probably upload it and then just call it the Star Wars Spoiler Cast.
Yeah. You should, motherfucker.
Should.
I had so much fun just bitching about that.
That movie's so like mediocre. It's so memorable.
Right?
It's
Right.
Like, you're sitting there being like, "Oh my god, this is like 6 out of 10."
Like, right?
It's not even that bad, but it's just so.
It's just
so mediocre.
There's nothing like. There's so much to talk about, and yet there's nothing to talk about.
I like how the movie, like I saw this on Christmas Day, like I do every tradition now. But like I saw the movie and I'm just surprised how many weird turns it took and then went nowhere.
Yep.
And I was like, the fuck?
Yep.
Like, why are you taking these turns and do nothing?
Yep.
Like, why are you doing this? Doesn't make any fucking sense.
It seems
do
like
something with it.
seemed like the direction of the film was just let's fuck with everyone's expectations, and like I like having my expectations subverted. I find it like it's a refreshing change of pace. But when you're doing it just for the sake of subverting my expectations, I'm like, where the fuck are you going with this? Like,
Yeah,
it's neat
exactly,
that you're
'cause
doing your own thing, but what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, because they did it like 5 to 6 times in this whole goddamn film, and it's like, I don't know where you're going at this point, because what's going on now?
See, like
holy shit.
See, but here's the thing: is like my only complaint with The Force Awakens is Rey's a total Mary Sue. Like she has no,
I don't think she's a Mary Sue. She's just really boring.
Yeah, she has no, but she has no character development. And in this movie, they're like, "Oh, your parents were drunks," and I'm like,
I actually love that she's just like not important at all.
Yeah.
Like she's like, yeah, you have force powers, but there's no like lineage or destiny to it. You're just like a force sensitive.
Yeah, like how the kid at the end of the movie is like, I'm gonna force this broom to my hand. I'm like, did the kid just use the force there for a second?
Loads of people in the Star Wars universe are force sensitive, and I don't know how much of that is still canon and all that jazz. But like, yeah, there are loads of people who are force sensitive in Star Wars.
Okay.
To the point where like they're basically a resource in like Old Republic era stuff, where there's just Jedi and Sith running around all over the fucking shop.
Because the
Old
one
Republic
thing
era
I kind of hope
is the bit where like all the cool factions are at their strongest, basically.
Because I sure hope that's still keep the constant there. Because if a group of people are not cool and they're like super strong, it's like, who the fuck wants to go with those guys? They're so lame.
Yeah, basically.
And another thing I hope they keep constant
the Jedi
is
are
like
still
the
popular.
different. Yeah, I hope they keep constant with the different color sabers for no reason, and also what was the thing? Oh, this one dumb piece of lore of, hey, if you go to this cave or this, what was it, alcove or some shit, you get the force powers. You're exactly like a Jedi. You're just as strong.
That's Jedi Outcast. And that was like a plot point. There was a plot point that there's just a temple somewhere, and if you go in it and you're not force sensitive, you're now force sensitive.
Yeah.
So it's just a Jedi producing factory, and it's like that's like the crux of the plot of Jedi Academy.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember reading that somewhere, and I didn't exactly know it was in the game or anything, but I was reading that. I was going, wait, what if you took over that spot? Some evil guy did. And it was just forcing people through it, like just talking people through the fucking building.
Yeah.
So it's like you're just having a giant army of Jedis for no reason.
Yeah. Welcome to the plot of Jedi Academy. Like that's the thing. That's what they're like. Oh, fuck! This is just like okay, because like Jedi are just like space wizards, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like so, just like a factory that you throw people into, and you get space wizards out the other end. That's pretty fucking good.
I'm gonna go make food now. You guys have your conversation.
Okay. We'll just continue this pre-podcast, post-podcast thing.
Pre-cum, post-cum.
Stop. Why are you like this?
Why are you like this? Shut up. I hate you. I love you too. I fucking hate you.
I would burn you alive if I could. Oh.
Fucking burn you alive if I could. That's a good one.
That's a new one. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's good. I'm writing down that imagination here. Bam. Got a stamp on it. Perfect.
Can't wait till we burnt to death.
Or actually, a good insult I learned from, I was reading some shitty webcomic, and the one line was, you think a buttered pencil is crunchy and flavorful. And I'm like, that's actually pretty good. I like that one, because that says the person has no taste and he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
What?
You think a buttered pencil is crunchy and delicious.
Okay.
I just like that one.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, why would one eat a buttered pencil?
Because you think the person's an idiot and he has no taste.
Okay.
Yeah, you get it now. You get it now.
I mean, I just think there are other metaphors that would be better.
Yeah, but I just like how wordy. It's super fucking wordy.
So you got to find something that's unequivocally bad and then say they think it's good. But bonus points if they do. I had a friend who liked the new Power Rangers movie. Self-same friend told me that Baby Driver wasn't very good.
Is it good? Bad? I've heard mixed feelings on that.
I love Baby Driver. Like, the choreography is so fucking on point. God, it nails its style.
I was going to say, wasn't the trailer for that thing, people were expecting that to be like some sort of weird musical, and it wasn't?
It is. No, it is. It's an action musical. Every action scene is an action movie where every action scene is choreographed to the music that's playing.
Okay, because people were thinking the whole thing was choreographed to the music, not necessarily just the action scenes.
No, it's just the action scenes, which is like, to be fair, a very large portion of the movie. But like, there has to be room for like plot for it to slow down in between, right? It's a musical. Like, there are parts where the characters have to like set up what's happening before they launch into song.
I think it'd be really good if the entire thing was song, but they had your slow points, and that's where it's like, okay, this is the chill song.
Yeah,
so
okay,
therefore,
but like there are plenty of movies that do, or movies or plays or whatever that do that. But then it's just like, I am singing a sentence that I could be saying, and it's not it's not like an interesting song or memorable at all. It's just like It's just like following the gimmick.
Or, you don't have to sing it. It could be fade into a background type of thing, and it's chill, and still have talking. They could still talk normally, but it's just like, maybe, I don't know.
Then it's just a regular scene.
But you still have like the music
in the
overtone.
background. Just because it has music in the background doesn't mean, like, if they're not like reacting to the music in character, then it's not like a musical scene. Well, the thing is, I think you can pull that off if they're still in tune with the background music, if they don't have to sing it. Like, if they're in with the beat of the music, I think that still counts as a musical film. I suppose, but like, it's hard to do that and make it noticeable enough for it to matter without it being like kind of obnoxious. Sup, Allan?
Yeah.
Sup? Have you guys started?
Well, we've started recording, but Jeff's not here right now, so we're just like spitting.
Okay, so I
memes
thought you guys had
into the air.
I
So
figured
he
you
has
guys would have
something to
started
put at
after I
the end
said,
of the podcast.
yeah, no, because the thing was okay. So this is what happened. I said, okay, I'll probably be done around 8:30. I didn't think you guys were going to wait for me that long, so I was like, okay, whatever. If I can jump in, I can jump in.
Well, I only got on at like 7:45-ish, and they were just pissing around. So we decided to just fucking wait.
So then guess what happened to me? So I'm playing D&D. This is around 6:30. My dad leans down. He's like, "Hey, let's get us a shovel," and I'm like, "Oh no!" And so I had to go shovel. I didn't get back inside till 7:45. I popped back into the D&D group, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" It's like, "Yeah, we're just finishing off the game." And I'm like, "Oh,
my face.
So I kind of get, but sidewalks cleaned up. Everyone's happy.
Rad. All right, now we just gotta wait for Jeff's like fucking dumbass going to get food, motherfucker. We were talking about. I can't remember what we were talking about. My brain just died.
Talking about how you can make an entire movie musical without them having to sing all the lyrics.
Baby Driver.
Yeah, Baby Driver.
But no, I do think Baby Driver nails like a good balance where you have like the scenes where it sort of slows down and people can have like a normal human conversation. You could like, because like a lot of the time you need to like, in order to have like a really, really like, I don't know, invested emotional scene that you're invested in, it requires you to like be able to take pauses.
Also,
and you can't necessarily do that to like a soundtrack most
Rory,
of the time.
there you go. There's a game for you.
Oh. I accidentally moved to AFK.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. What is this?
10
Yeah,
out
you
of
don't
10.
even need to read it. Just read the rules. How to? It's like read the instructions how to cut all the cards and then read how to play. It's right below the image.
Okay. A new card game
Cards.
specifically for guardsmen.
Yeah, just wait. It's fucking great.
Okay. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Failure to cut along the line will result in punitive action and immediate removal of all remaining authorized leisure activities.
Yep. And then read how to play. It's right. Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, center guard.
They have just been doing nothing but like shit posting guardsmen with the community post now. It's fantastic. Like the entire point of regimental standard is they make these absurd over the top posts.
There is no winner, as faith is its own reward. Have fun, guardsmen.
Thought of the day. True happiness stems only from duty. Do not use these guys in a game of comparison or trumps. This is to imply the superiority of one part of the Imperium over another, and the most. Oh jeez!
And God damn.
The most neurologically gifted among you will have already gathered that such comparisons would be meaningless anyways. Oh,
God damn it!
Nice. I can't wait. I really like to see someone, or Allan go to a game. He does his thing, and you see someone with a stack of cards, and he's like, "I know what you're doing."
They've all got Aquillas in the back, and I go, "Hello, fellow guardsmen." I too have a deck of those cards.
And they stab you and take off their face, and it turns out they were a demon in disguise. It was a ruse, guardsman.
Where did my sweater go? Oh, there it is.
What the fuck is taking Jeff so long?
He said he was making food or some shit, didn't he?
Yeah, it doesn't take that long to make food.
By the way, so the Adeptus Custodes are an army now.
Ooh.
You want to just you can get it. Let me put it this way: for me, as a guy,
are they greased and ready to fight?
Jesus Christ! We now know who's Kitten's real name, by the way.
Okay.
He has straight up canonically said that no, since this guy's the Captain General, whatever they name the Captain General, that's his actual name.
Okay.
So hang on, I'll go to it actually. They've got it in the pre-orders still, I think. Where is it? Captain General Tarjin Valoris. And I'm like, excellent. He's got a really fancy sounding name. But just so you know, in tabletop, there's different levels of how many units you can have on table. So there's battalion, task force, brigades, assault force, and all that stuff. As a guard player, I can get up to the maximum size force of task forces, being brigade, which is 3 heavy supports, a minimum of 3 fast heavy supports, minimum of 3 fast attacks, minimum of 3 elites, minimum of 8 troops, and minimum of 3 HQs, which is just expensive for any army to do. The Adeptus Custodes can do it too, except the number of models they have on table is a pale comparison to what I have. The amount of models.
Yeah, but they're
no. You don't understand.
Aren't built to die.
You don't understand. They have somebody's actually done the math. If somebody did brigade sized or not a brigade, a battalion sized task force, which is one of each. Heavy sport, 1 fast tech, 1 elite, and 2 HQ, and then 4 troops. That's 9 models.
Okay.
So there's actually a box set that's already available online that just literally comes with three Adeptus Custodes, and you're like, oh look, I've got a third of my army right here.
There you go.
Oh, Allan, you should actually turn on your recording.
I've been recording the entire time since I logged in.
Yeah, I assumed he was when I yelled.
That's good.
Record, motherfucker.
He didn't yell record, motherfucker.
Jeff just went to AFK. Is he coming back?
I'm sure. Okay, so Jeff must have been went to the kitchen. He's like, okay, what can I make? Oh, I got some chicken here. Okay, so I need to marinate it. So how long do I need to marinate it for? Seems like 24 hours. Okay, I can wait.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just wait here. It's not like anyone's waiting for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Piece of shit.
How every time I somehow end up in a booster juice, you're sitting there for ungodly long time for your fucking drink. And it's or your stupid juicy boosy whatever, and it's man, he must.
Boosy?
Yeah, juicy boosy. So I always think like they're just in the back, like, have to go get the berries from the garden, pick the berries, make sure there's no bugs in them, then wash them.
Yeah,
then
from
put
the
'em
from
through-
the Booster Juice vineyards.
Yeah, like, straight from the vineyards. You have to drive there.
Oh, fuck's sake. There he is.
Hi, Jeff.
Hello.
Nice, sync.
So how?
Is your name Jeff? All right, time to sync.
It's time for sync.
It's time for sync.
Sync in 3, 2, 1.